What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 5 now of the Back of the House Boys podcast show, whatever you want to call it. It's 60 Angel, whatever you want to say, and
Buck, what's going on?
just
Episode 5, it's crazy.
just the guys back today. Just the guys, no special guests this week. Maybe they'll join us another day, but it's all we need. We're all we got. We all we need. So just gonna open up with some CFB takes, some college football review, and then we'll go into some preview because we do got a pretty good week coming up this week. Well, this coming up week, and also review the past week, and then after that we'll move into some NFL games as well. And also, before we get started on this, like I said, I know we mostly talk about football, but basketball news, that's coming up soon, and baseball is in the postseason now. So if you're from the East Coast, or just have a bandwagon, if you're a bandwagon, the Braves are starting up tomorrow. So, or was that Saturday or Friday?
Saturday, I think.
Yeah, Saturday. So if you want to jump on the bandwagon, go ahead because they're gonna win the World Series. So
We both are already on the
yeah,
bandwagon, so.
yeah. Well, the Angels suck. So, anyways, and then basketball, just we'll figure it out.
Lillard to Milwaukee, man.
Yeah, he left everything in Portland. No cap. But anyways, opening up with some college football. So then we're gonna do it a little different this time. Me and Buck kind of just picked 5 games that we wanted to talk about, just because yeah, we can review all the games, but just to help speed it up. I know a lot of you people, or a lot of the people that give me feedback on these, they put it on and listen to it while they work, while they're working out, while they're just doing something. And it's nice to have long episodes, but at the same time, it's if you're just a casual, you're not going to tune in for the whole hour and a half, especially to listen to our casual takes. But we're just going to try and speed it up. So 5 games each, talk about those, and then if we do want to branch off, we can. But just to kind of help speed things up, and took notes just like last time, past couple times. So I'll go ahead and open it up, and then if you want to go game for game, or if you want me to go ahead and finish out my notes, and then you'll jump in because I know we have a couple similar ones. Whatever you want to do, just let me know. But I'll go ahead and get started on mine. Obviously, my first game is just going to be the Alabama game. It's that's my team. That's who I'm with. Just the key notes that I had was we had almost 200 rushing yards. The biggest one was probably with Milroe's touchdown run. That kind of got the offense back going. It 9 p.m. kickoff, hostile environment. On the road. It's just, I couldn't hear the announcers half the time because of the stadium. Kind of like I talked about a few episodes back when LSU was there. The difference between 11 a.m. and 9 p.m. is a huge difference. So 193 rush yards, 164 pass yards by Milroe. He went 10 for 12. But, it just kind of shows you, if it works, why change it up? And, there's going to be days when Milroe does have to pass for over 200 yards. But, today wasn't that, or that day wasn't the day. So, he 10 for 12, nearly perfect. Just being a point guard, that's what Nick Saban told him to do. He's like, I just want you to distribute the ball to your playmakers. And, there was a lot of times that it was like third and, 5, I guess third and long. Because, you're kind of out of that third and short range. He was just moving around the pocket and just trying to create plays. And Amari Nyblack, the tight end, he had the most catches, or led the team in receiving. So, he had a pretty big catch. And just seeing Milroe just be that point guard that Saban wants him to be. The run game, I think it's found its identity. It kind of got opened up with Milroe's explosive run, like I said. Late start again, but that's just one of the things that's going to happen with this offense. It's still trying to find its identity as far as passing. And I will say the other thing on the offensive side of the ball is the second half was a lot slower, but maybe Saban was letting it off the gas. He's one of those guys where he respects his opponent and he doesn't want to run up the score. This game did get out of hand at one point, and then Mississippi State did cut it to a touchdown, but Bama just kept doing their thing. The defense, intercepted Rodgers 3 times, sacked them. Well, we had 4 sacks, 8 TFLs, and a pick six out of those 3 picks. So I
Dang.
mean, defense is looking good. Mississippi State, they're not a bad team. They're gonna get that rep because of their record, but they can line up with some of the best of them. And today they just happen to not be their day. But Alabama has Will Rogers' number, so it's just, I mean, if you look, he's played him 4 times, and I think he's scored he just threw his first passing TD, and he's played the team 4 times. So it's just they kind of got his number, but they're not a bad team. Another thing was the kicking. Will Reichard went 4 for 4, 48-yard field goal is the longest. Just Reichard continues to show why he's one of the best players on the team. And so that's the Alabama Mississippi State game. I'll talk a little bit more about it when we do the preview, because we do have a big game this week. I think we had this game similar. It's the Auburn Georgia game. So I'll go ahead and start with my notes, and then if you want to talk about yours. So I just jot down that Auburn had 200 plus rushing yards, on Georgia. So it's kind of just, they found the formula, and for them to have 200 yards rushing against Georgia, that's just you don't really see that. It's been, you got to look back to a few years. I mean, I'm sure me just being a casual and not going back and looking myself, but it's just one of those things that when you see that, you don't really believe it, just because of Georgia's identity. They definitely kept them in the game, but Brock Bowers, who was my MVP of the week, as far as the college football, he had 150 receiving yards and the go-ahead TD to win the game. And also, this game just proved to me that, well, not me, but I guess to the average casual that watches it, was that road games, I mean, it's just, it can happen. I mean, Auburn's not a team to be to cakewalk and walk over, but it's just UGA ended up rallying. It just kind of shows you why they're, top team in the nation. But still a lot of questions, because this is their first test, and they don't have many of these the whole year. So it's just
Yeah, I think they have their next. I think their only other true road game is Tennessee, because Florida's in Jacksonville. I think they might
yeah.
have one more.
Well, I think Kentucky's at home. Well, that's this week
Yeah,
coming up, so we'll talk
yeah,
about that in a bit. But yeah, I
but
mean,
yeah. I was just gonna say, just about Georgia, but no, I Brock Bowers is just he's just a machine. Just continues to be the best non-quarterback in college football, I think, and he has been for, I don't know, past 3 years. Just the consistency is insane. But I think, like you said, I think if somehow you could start the run and get the run going against Georgia, I think it'd be hard to beat. Um, and then that'll lead into the Georgia game this week, because one of my games from last week was the Florida Kentucky game, and Kentucky ran all over Florida. Yeah, Ray Davis by himself had 280 yards by himself. Insane. Just absolutely just blew him out of the water. Couldn't do anything to stop him. And they're Kentucky's still 5-0, and then now they're ranked. So yeah, like I said, we'll go into that in a second. But yeah, 280 yards. I'm not sure how many. Not sure how many touchdowns he had.
no, Ray Davis, I think he had 3.
3. Yeah, but regardless, insane. So yeah, maybe Auburn kind of came up with a formula there. Kentucky might try to expose it, so we'll see.
Yeah, not to we'll talk a little bit more about the preview, but just like I was saying, just Brock Bowers. I mean, why is he not in the Heisman race? He's kind of, well, it's supposed to be the best player, on the team.
Yeah,
And
it's not anymore, sadly.
Yeah, but they'll figure it out. I mean, Brock, like I said, he is the reason that team goes, and in the end, they'll only go as far as Brock lets them. But in my opinion, but I mean, it was a really good game. I mean, Auburn hung in there. Didn't expect them to really win it, but you know, it'd have been cool to see that just because you know it's Georgia, it's the number one team in the nation, and you know you root for that. I mean, I don't really care for either team, but I mean,
I
just
mean, it's got
like I
to
said,
bode well for.
yeah. I mean,
Good.
it goes well for Auburn. Sorry, not to cut you off, but it's still
You're
just like I
good.
said, has a lot of questions for Georgia.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it bodes well too for Hugh Freeze. I mean, first year. I mean, only losing by a touchdown to Georgia. I mean, that's gotta feel good for him. And this can like completely new. Didn't they have a lot of transfers as well with
Hmm.
Hugh Freeze coming in?
Yeah, and they also got some good recruiting. They poached one of Alabama's wide receivers this
Mm.
coming up year. So yeah, the I think the kid said that he wants to go be developed where he can like best be like, and it's
Mm.
just like Auburn hasn't had a first round wide receiver since probably I was born. So I don't give a fuck. You know, it's NIL bags. But anyways, so going on, just to keep going, USC versus Colorado was the next one on mine. I think you had this one too. Quick notes I had was Caleb Williams' stats. It's 30 for 40, 403 passing yards, and six touchdowns. And then
Mm-hmm.
Sanders went 30 for 45 with 371 with four touchdowns. The biggest thing about this game was the second half. If you
Yeah.
turned it off after the first half, then you know I totally understand you because that was actually like it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
But just the second half rally by Colorado and you know the slow starting. I mean they started off really slow against Oregon, but clearly they couldn't come back. But you know thankfully for the Colorado team they did this week, and you know they definitely make you a USC like think about it, you know, and kind of have their mind right and get back into the game because I mean for all you know Colorado could have ended up tying this game up and potentially winning it with that momentum swing.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing was Caleb, just still the Heisman favorite. I mean, some of the stuff he was doing, it's just, yeah, that's just what Caleb does. But also USC, I mean, the defense, like, this is probably going to be the reason this team can't go far.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just going to be, it's their Achilles heel. And just, you know, if something does happen, it's because of the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I had on my notes that I think USC is. I think they're pretenders. Hot take, but uh, think I think they are pretenders, and like you said, I think the defense is definitely going to be the downfall. Um, they're going to have to score a million, just like they did against Colorado, to beat who they're going to beat. You know,
Mm.
um, and especially, well, I mean, we'll talk about it next week too. But like big games coming up against like Notre Dame. Um, still got some big. Guess
But yeah, I
do they
mean,
play Oregon this year?
well, I mean, and let me look. Yeah, they do play Oregon. I mean, they still got their like Pac-12 schedule, which at the end of the day, I
Mm-hmm.
think these teams will hurt each other, like I've been saying every episode. I mean, they still got well, they're at Arizona this or versus Arizona this week at home, who they should beat, but again, conference
Yeah.
games don't rule that out, just casuals. But I mean, like they got Notre Dame, Utah, Washington, Oregon, and they end the year with UCLA, who by that time, I mean, Dante would have had 10 games under his belt, so. And I think UCLA has a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they have one of the top graded edge rushers in the upcoming draft.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like the Washington Oregon game, like back to back, that's gonna be,
Yeah.
and Utah and Notre Dame back to back,
Yeah.
and even Cal. I mean,
Uh, I was just gonna
but,
say, why was the score so close with Washington and Arizona? I didn't watch it, but Washington only beat Arizona by a touchdown. I didn't think Arizona was great.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's those conference games. I mean, I think we
Yeah.
talked about this game last week, and we said Washington should handle this. Like you said, I didn't even look into the box score of this game just because it wasn't on my list. I mean, oh well, looking at the box score, it looks like Penix didn't throw a touchdown this week. I mean,
Hmm.
he threw for 300, but no touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, throwing looks like everything came from the rush.
Hmm.
rushing game for them. But I mean, it just kind of shows you. I mean, they have that dual threat. You know, they can beat you with the rush. They can, you know, if you shut down the pass. It's just one of those
Hmm.
things where, you know, Washington is, you know, one of the more complete teams when it comes to college football. So definitely, I mean, thankfully their team was able to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I didn't even notice that either. It's a casual mind. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like I said, the Pac-12 will end up hurting itself, and you know, just keep an eye out on those teams.
Hmm.
Utah, unfortunately, I didn't talk about that game this week because they lost, or at least on my schedule. You know, it wasn't picked for me. But you know, they definitely missed Rising this past week. The offense was lackluster, and you know they lost to Oregon State at Oregon State. So just those conference road games, they'll get you.
Yep.
But yeah, I
Speaking of
mean,
conference road games, that'll
mhm.
get you. Um, South Carolina and Tennessee. Tennessee won their Super Bowl this past weekend. So congratulations to the
Congratulations, yeah,
Volunteers.
congratulations, Tennessee.
Yeah. Spencer Rattler.
Can't wait for the Pro Bowl.
If he if he had like even like a semblance of an offensive line, he could have done some actual damage. I think against Tennessee, but the dude was on the ground more often than he was throwing the ball. Um, so I mean, our defensive line, I think Tennessee is second in sacks in the country right now. They have 22. Um, so their D line's pretty good. Um, I mean, but based off the competition they've played so far. But yeah, the South Carolina Tennessee game was. I think people had Tennessee beating South Carolina, but I don't think they had them beating by this much. They definitely were. I think there's definitely a little bit of it was a little personal for the Tennessee players left over from last year. After the this dismantling in Columbia, but they got the
Also,
win.
a second touchdown has hit DJ Moore. If you have DJ Moore in fantasy, you know you're obviously thriving right now. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah. No, I mean that was about all I was gonna say. Tennessee's run game went insane. They had three different running backs score a touchdown. Um, I think they had multiple 100-yard rushers. I might be wrong. I know Jalen Wright had 123. The biggest story or biggest takeaway from that game was Tennessee losing Brew McCoy. That was brutal.
Oh yeah, that was
Awful,
wild.
awful
Um,
leg injury.
yeah, I'll be back.
So I mean, he'll be back. Hopefully, he'll come back next year. We'll see. But
I think
Tennessee
you will.
loves to run their Tennessee loves to run their little screens.
Nico
Um,
Yamaliaba.
and Brew is a huge like blocker for those screens. So I'm not sure how they'll adjust for that. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
we'll
time
see.
will tell. Um,
Yeah.
just touch on that. I mean, just Tennessee. I mean, was obviously the more. I don't know how to say this. I mean, in my opinion, they were going to probably win that game. South Carolina would have been cool, you know, to go back to back against them, but they're just not complete. I mean, the Rattler's just, you know, he had a lot of people leave him last year as far as the transfer portal goes, and the people that you know made an impact in that game last year. So it's
Yeah.
just it affected them this year. You know, going to Tennessee night game. You know, especially with that
Yeah.
revenge mentality. I mean, it caught up to them. You know, I didn't expect much, but definitely didn't look great. So, congratulations on the ring, by the way, to all of Tennessee. But
Yeah. If you somehow don't know,
I'll see
Spencer
you at the
Rattler.
Pro Bowl in Tuscaloosa. So
Yeah. If somebody out there doesn't know, Spencer Rattler called the Tennessee game. They called it, or he called it the Super Bowl for Tennessee players
post game,
post game. Yeah, after his loss, super
yeah.
classy. So, you know,
I mean, he
I
is a
mean,
classy person.
yeah, just look at QB1.
But anyways, is that it on that game right there?
Yeah, I think so. That's about all I had to say.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and go with my next one since we just went back and forth kind of. Next one on my list was LSU Ole Miss. Just SEC, you know, dominance over here. But anyways, just couple things, the stat lines for both quarterbacks: 27 of 36 for Daniels for 414, 4 TDs, and Dart wasn't far behind with 26 of 39 with 389 and 4 TDs. They combined for over 1,300 yards of offense. And the biggest thing about this was just LSU. I mean, after last year beating Alabama, you expected them to kind of keep it going and potentially push for the SEC again this year. But I mean, the defense is just still not there. I mean, last year was a little bit better, but this year just looks like, they're not getting any push from anybody. I mean, with Mason Smith in the middle of the line, you just expect him to kind of step up in this role, especially after missing some time due to injury last year. And just the recruits they've been having. But they're still trying to figure it out. Harold Perkins, just not the same as last year. But I mean, I kind of figured this. I mean, he kind of blew up because of the Bama game. He bottled us up, and that was the biggest thing. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but the hype is, the hype is the hype. So, like I said, LSU just defense is still not there. Ole Miss, I know they don't have defense, so I didn't expect much from them. But I mean, I knew they had offense, and Quinshawn I think went for like 200 yards, 2 rushing as well. Judkins, and I mean, just the grit, just to battle it out and get gritty down in there. And Lane Kiffin, I mean, I think this was a statement win for him, especially after last year getting embarrassed by Saban. He had to do something, and he went out there and beat LSU. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but it was a good game.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Oh. But yeah, I mean, I got one more game. I think you have 2 more, or do you have one more?
I just have one.
You have one more. Do you want me to go ahead and go, or do you want to go ahead and go?
I'll go. I was
Okay.
just gonna say Notre Dame. I think I don't know if they're teetering on being like I don't know. I mean, they went to Duke, and Duke had a lot of hype going into this game, but I think Notre Dame. I think Duke was definitely a trap game for Notre Dame, and they got out of it. Hartman continues to ball.
Sorry, guys, I have the sniffles.
Hartman continues to ball, but it sucks what happened to Riley Leonard, and it happened on like the last play of the game. I think something happened with his.
Yeah, he's a high ankle sprain.
So hate to see that, but Notre Dame pulled out the win, and yeah, we'll see where it goes from there for them. But yeah, as long as they keep the one loss, I mean, I think they still have a conversation for the playoff as much as anybody with the way their schedule is looking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying much about
if they went out.
Yeah, I'm not saying much about Duke. Like, I think they were definitely still riding on that, like, Clemson high. They're not a bad team, but yeah, I think they're a team full of. I think they got a lot of transfers as well. But yeah, Notre Dame, Sam Hartman. I mean, I wanted him to be at Bama, if I'm being honest, but it happens, and he's a good quarterback, and he's a dog. He's got that mentality, but Notre Dame, the biggest thing they got to figure out is that offense. I mean, they're a really good offense, and 2 weeks now in a row they've been slowed down. Their defense has stepped up really good, but I expect them to kind of do something this week, especially with Louisville coming into Notre Dame. It should be a really good game, especially I think it's a ranked game too, like both ranked.
Oh, so, Louisville.
Yeah. So I mean, it should be a good match, and hopefully Notre Dame figures out that offense, especially with a few big games coming up. With at least one more, I know, with USC. So yeah, I mean, it was a good game, like you said, trap game. It's one of those games that they should win. Not saying anything against Duke, the casual mind, but I just think it was one of those, like I said, they're riding off that high. So, but the last game on my list before we get into some previewing some games is Kansas at Texas, and just a stat line. I mean, nothing much, but Texas dominance. This was one of my top games of the week, and then didn't realize that Jaden Daniels was a game time decision. So that pretty much put me where I knew I was going to be. So yeah, Quinn, 25-35, 325, touchdown and a pick. biggest thing for them this week was, or this past week was Texas had over 300 rushing yards, 300 plus rushing yards, and 300 plus receiving yards as well. So
Jeez.
just great offense domination, and especially over a really good offense, like a really good red zone offense and offense. The biggest thing for me though was just no Jaden Daniels. I mean, it was a good win for them, but I think it was like their biggest like conference win, like as far as like spread wise or something like that. That I was like spread wise
Mhm.
against ranked, I think something like that. But yeah, I mean, just a lot of momentum, especially going into Red River this coming up week. So I mean, they played great, but just like I said, I mean, kind of disappointment with no Daniels. I would have loved to
Mhm.
have seen what the real match. But just wanted to highlight it because, like I said, it was one of my top 5 games of the week, and one of my top 5 games of the week, and just kind of the game time decision messed it up for me. But yeah, and so we'll just go ahead and like move into this week coming up,
Yeah.
and if you want to talk about some, I'll go ahead and talk about mine if you want me to, and if you want to talk about some as well. But lots of games this week. I mean, we can't get into a lot of them, but definitely like talk about them a little bit. Alabama A&M, big game for me, honestly, or obviously. Winner of this takes control of the West. Both 4-1, 2-0 in SEC play. Biggest thing is it's at A&M, so road game. Figure out what we're really about, and yeah, just hostile environment against A&M. Another big thing is no Wigman, but this could be a lot of things like for the casual mind to see. Is they're starting Johnson, who is a veteran quarterback, Max Johnson. He's been in the SEC for a while now. I can't remember if he was LSU or Auburn. I think he was LSU. So he's been here for a while, like as far as like in college. But the biggest thing about them is Nia Smith already given Saban some bulletin board material saying that this is a personal for him because of his family. He had his older brother was an Alabama player back in like 2016, but Saban didn't grant him like permission to transfer to Georgia with like immediate eligibility or something like that. So he's saying it's personal, but like I said, A&M's got a lot of explosive players. Johnson, like I said, he's a grizzled veteran. So I mean, it can get ugly, but I just hope the biggest thing for this game is going to be Alabama's offense versus A&M's defense. Just kind of seeing where our offense really is at. Fortunately, this game is unranked for some reason, but just because A&M is not ranked, a lot of teams will view this as like if we lose, like a really bad
Yeah, it's an
thing.
upset. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean we're favored by 1 point, or like 1.5 point is the line. So I mean honestly, it can go either way, but obviously I want the Tide to take it because if we win this game, I mean we kind of have control of the West, and we got 2 big games also, or 2 more. Well, not 2 more, but like plenty of more games. But a lot of them are gonna be at home for the rest of the year, and I feel more confident at home than on the SEC road. So that's that one as far as on my list. Next one going down just in time order. Oklahoma, Texas. That's a big one. Red River rivalry. Both of them ranked for like the 4th or 5th time ever.
That's crazy.
You know, and both undefeated as well for like a handful of times as well.
Did you see the Big 12 commissioner will not be there, but Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, will be there.
SEC dominance. I mean, it's just.
What's crazy is that these two teams are going to play in the Big 12 championship, but he's going to have to be there. So
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I mean, Kansas State might have something to say about this, or I mean, Oklahoma. It's just
no, I'm
one of
definitely
these
on it.
teams. Yeah, one of these teams I definitely will be in the Big 12 championship. The
Oh
odds
yeah,
of
I
both
said
of them, I mean, it's pretty high. But I'm just saying, like
yeah.
Kansas State, West Virginia's up there too. Like, I mean, they other than that Penn State loss, it's just been grinding it out. But yeah, I mean, really big game. Um, a lot of people will say Oklahoma hasn't played anybody, which, as far as competition wise, I mean, I guess you could say that. But the biggest
And
thing,
they've been blowing everybody out that they played. So
yeah, it's a really good offense for Oklahoma. and a good defense, and really good defense and offense for Texas. So I expect a shootout, especially after last year, the blowout. And Dylan Gabriel did not play in this game last year. So I mean, it'd be nice to see Texas or Oklahoma win this, but it's going to be a dogfight. So Texas is the favorite, but like I said, I mean, it is what it is. Don't really care about either teams. Would love to see both lose, but we'll see. Maryland, Ohio State. Maryland is unranked at 5-0. Casual
Oh,
minds. Tungo Vailoa, the brother. Just keep an eye out for that, man. So I'm not saying Ohio State's on upset alert, but there's a reason Maryland's undefeated. Clearly they're a good team. So that one should be good. LSU, Missouri at Missouri. Missouri's hitting their stride. I mean, they're 5-0. It's awesome. Both of these teams ranked. Brady Cook is a dog. I don't think he's thrown a pick yet. Yeah, no, like I don't think he's thrown a pick all year.
yeah, I think he has the most attempts ever in the
Yeah,
SEC without throwing a pick.
yeah. I mean, yeah, down the board, man. Just great games this week. I mean, those three right there are four in the earlier window, and Washington State, UCLA. That should be a really good game, especially with Cam Ward. I mean, he's just a dark horse for that Heisman. VT, Florida State. Like, don't sleep on conference. Syracuse, North Carolina. I mean, that should be good, especially with
Mm-hmm.
Syracuse was
As well.
balling. Yeah, well, yeah, and then Syracuse was balling up until last week when Clemson kind of just
Mm-hmm.
took out all their frustration on Syracuse. Kentucky, Georgia night game at Georgia. That should be really
That's
good,
sweet.
especially with like you were saying, Ray Davis. I mean, coming off a
Mm-hmm.
monster rushing game. But I was telling one of my like customers this at work today. Just big Georgia fan apparently. Well, not apparently, I know he is, but just the fact that like Auburn was able to do the rushing attack on them. You don't see that on Georgia much, but especially with Ray Davis, the bulletin board material. Just coming off of that dub last week, but kind of getting embarrassed. I expect them to bottle up that run game.
Mm-hmm.
I expect them to that's just what they do. They will put us on the edge of our
Make
seat one
adjustments.
week, make the adjustments next week, and then handle that. So I mean, I don't expect nothing. I expect Georgia to dominate this game, but they'll do that, and then they'll start slacking again, and they'll adjust it again. So I expect Ray Davis to have a good game, but he's not. I don't think he tops 100. I mean, hopefully he makes me bite my tongue, but I just like I said, Georgia's the king of kind of making those adjustments post after the really bad game. There's a reason they're
Mm-hmm.
back to back champs. So Michigan, Minnesota. Yeah, here's that Notre Dame, Louisville night game. Oh,
In Louisville,
it's
yeah.
at Louisville. Damn, I didn't know that. I thought it was at Notre Dame. But yeah, I mean, it should be a really good game. Like I said, I just want to see Notre Dame's offense kind of kick it back into gear, especially after
Mm-hmm.
those past 2 weeks of just slowness. Arkansas will miss another night game. That should be really good. I feel bad for Arkansas because I like Sam Pittman, but I just don't see them winning this. Well, if they come out and play how they played LSU, they could probably win this game. But it's just he's a good coach, but I mean they got Ole Miss this week and Alabama next week. It's a tough time to be a Hog fan, if I'm being honest. GT at Miami, nothing much to say there. Fresno State, Wyoming. Fresno State, I mean, is balling. Oregon State, after what they did to US or Utah last week, and then that Arizona USC game, like you said, it's just and they competed with Washington, who's one of the best in the
Mm-hmm.
division or in the conference. So I mean, I probably won't be up for that game though, so because 10:30 kickoff,
Yeah.
so miss me with that game. And just a quick look at the non-conference schedule or like non-FBS or top 25 schedule. Just like I said, we're gonna try and keep it quick, but if you see anything too, like just say it. Uh, Florida Vandy, you shitting me? I'm kidding. UCF Kansas, especially if Jaden Daniels comes out. I mean, another thing too is like Kansas could come back and be in that Big 12 championship, and they could see Texas again. And that would be
Mhm.
nice, man. I'm telling you. I really wanted to see Jaden Daniels at the helm of that offense, just because I think it
Mhm.
would have been a totally different game. But the world may never know.
Wow, UConn and Rice would be a good game.
That one might be a nail biter if I'm being honest. Ooh, Howard at Northwestern.
Mm.
That one might be good. Uh, I don't know. I like NIU at Akron. If I'm being honest.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean it's a good college football weekend. You got your games here and there. Definitely a lot. There's gonna be something to watch all day. What I'm trying
Mm.
to say. So if you're a college football fan, you're in for a really good week, and probably some upsets, probably some blowouts, but should be a really good week, and hopefully your team wins. So roll Tide. Hopefully you're not an Aggie fan, but no Tennessee this week. Buck, sorry about that.
It's
Uh,
all right.
we'll be back, I
You
guess.
know, they actually have A&M next week, so hoping they lose. You know what? Actually, I lied. Hope A&M wins, so they move up in the rankings and they come to Tennessee. So
Yeah, and then it'll be the third Saturday in October, and then we'll see what that one goes like. So at the time of us recording this, it is Thursday, the 5th of October. So at the moment, NFL football. So just transitioning into NFL. The NFL Thursday night game is going on right now. If you're a Bears fan, I mean, I know you're happy. If you're a Commanders fan, I'm sorry, but still a lot of ball left. Right now, there's still not even in halftime. So, but yeah, like I said, if you have DJ Moore on your fantasy team, you're probably happy right now because it's finally paying off. Me as Justin Fields on my team, it's finally starting to look forward to, but still a lot to prove and build on. But yeah, another London game this week. Oh, sorry, I'm over here looking at the preview. Like we're not going to talk about the past week. So I think we
oh,
ended up recording late last week. So we talked about the
mhm,
Lions and Packers game. So we don't really have to say much about that.
mhm.
But I just kind of went numb after Sunday, like around like 2 o'clock. So I kind of just turned everything off. If you know what I'm talking about, the
How'd you go numb?
Bills, shut the Dolphins out. I didn't expect much, if I'm being honest. Like I said, it's just you drop 70 on someone's head, and the next week it's not going to look pretty. It's just what the record says. But in Buffalo, like I said, I think we could split this series. If we do lose one, it's going to be in Buffalo. And I mean, I think Diggs looked really good, but I mean, there was no Ramsey. Like the heel of us, or the Achilles heel for us, is going to be our defense, especially our secondary. It's just not up to that speed yet, and we were definitely missing Ramsey this past week. And I get it. Josh Allen went. Had more touchdowns than completions. I get it. It's cool. It's whatever. But we got hoed. Those reps are trash, and Diggs is gonna get exposed for the fraud that he is. But I don't care. I mean, they got their dub. Whatever. That. We'll figure it out. But anyways, yeah. Falcons Jags. Nothing much to say there. Just kind of Jags are finally starting to figure it out, and hopefully they figure it out this upcoming week. We'll talk about that in just a second.
They're
So
in
we had,
London again, 2 weeks
yeah,
in a row. That's crazy.
yep. The Scrub Bowl. So Broncos ended up coming back, completing the comeback to beat the Bears. That was like horrible
Wow.
if you're a Bears fan.
Hmm.
I feel sorry for you. But Broncos just not the team I expected them to be this year. But I mean, happy for them. But I was going for Justin Fields during this game. So I mean, it's whatever. And Ravens Browns, again, another game time decision hurting me was Deshaun Watson out with, like, I think it was a hip injury or a shoulder or something like that.
Hmm.
And ended up having to go to DTR, the rookie. Just no offense. and the Ravens just completely dominated this game. So if you're a Ravens fan, I know you're happy, especially with basically taking control of the North this early in the year. Bengals fans, down atrocious. Please put Joe Burrow
Lord.
on IR. Please. You can lose 4 games and probably still make the playoffs. You can be a wild card. It's all good.
There you go.
But anyways, Titans just like I said, like I said in the preview that I had the Titans this game, and the thing with Vrabel's defense is they're just gonna get after him, and you could tell all game that Burrow wasn't healthy. That defense was getting after him, and just not making him feel comfortable, especially with that calf injury still lingering him. But I mean, I tried to tell y'all. Rams Colts a lot closer than I anticipated. I like the Colts because of Richardson, but overtime dub. Puka, just continues to show why he's. I mean, he could be offensive rookie of the year. Like, I mean, people were talking about Bijan this, Bijan that. Like, shut the fuck up.
Like Stroud too.
Bijan is trash. No, I'm kidding. He's not trash. But I mean, he's all right. But Puka, man, I think he was like a 6th-round pick.
Something crazy.
Yeah, and
I don't even know if he was drafted.
he's already broken like all the receiving records into week 4 for like a rookie receiver, like receptions, yardage.
He's on pace for like all of the receiving records.
Yeah, for a rookie, yeah, for sure. And I mean, Cooper Kupp expected to come back soon. Hopefully, I need you, Cooper.
He was a round 5 pick.
Yeah, that dog, man.
Mm-hmm.
But Rams 2-2 evened it up, and hopefully they get cut back and just figure it out. I mean, Kyron Williams too. I think he's a 2nd-year back, 2 or 3. Excuse me. He's hitting his stride. They got rid of Akers, who they should have got rid of years ago. But yeah, I mean, Rams are a fun team, especially if you're a Rams fan. I mean, you're gonna have some ups and downs, but
there's a little upside with the Rams for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as long as Stafford is still there, I don't know how many more years he's got, but
yeah, I mean, he still looks pretty good. He had a
well,
good game.
you got Stetson on the
week,
bench, so
yeah. I mean, it's either start your 40-year-old quarterback or your 40-year-old quarterback. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know who's gonna retire first, but we'll figure it out if you're a Rams fan.
Bucks Saints.
Yeah, just
they didn't have. Did they have Derek Carr?
They had Derek Carr, but he's playing through an injury. He's just like trying not to lose a starting spot, which Jameis came in through a freaking bomb and got picked. Usual Jameis activity. But yeah, a lot more lopsided than I anticipated. I wanted this to be a dogfight, but the Bucks just handed it to them in their home stadium.
At home, yeah.
I mean, it's wild. Bucks take control of the South.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be Kamara's breakout game, man.
Yeah.
So if you're a Kamara or Saints fan, Kamara fan, sorry, man. Eagles Commanders definitely a lot closer than a lot of people anticipated. But like we said last week, I mean, it's just that was the game that got him last year. Took him to overtime.
Yeah. I think the Eagles are just a team like that's waiting to get exposed, or they just haven't figured it out, or a little bit of both. So we will see how their season continues. I'm not sure who they have this week, but yeah, I don't think it should have been that close. AJ Brown went insane though.
Yeah. AJ Brown went crazy. I mean, even then, they're in the market for a 3rd wide receiver. That's what they're looking for. I know they've shown interest in Chase Claypool. I mean, it's just wild, man. The Eagles, like I said, they're just not 100% yet. I don't think they're hitting everything or like hitting on all cylinders on offense yet. Their defense, that run game is just bottled. Definitely, some miscues in the back end, but I mean, just to try and run through that front 7, it's not a fun time.
No.
Vikings Panthers, a lot closer than the score makes it look. Some key like turnovers by both teams is what really like got both of these guys to score. I think Kirk had like a 99-yard pick six, and then
Yeah.
Bryce had like a scooped fumble off of like a
Mhm.
strip sack. So I mean, it's just it happens, and a lot of teams are writing off Carolina. I mean, as they should if they want to, but this team wasn't great. This team was, I mean, yeah, they were close to making a playoff push last year, but the South was abysmal. It was horrible.
Mhm.
And I mean, the Panthers almost made it with like four different QBs at the helm last year. And Bryce Young, I mean, he's got thrown into this situation, and he's expected to, win games as he should. You're expected to win games, especially with, the second pick, CJ Stroud doing what he's doing. But if you're a Panthers fan, there's still a lot to be excited about. But don't blame this on Bryce. Like the offensive line is not great. The wide receiver core is not great. The running back room is, I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's not a bad team. But hopefully they'll figure it out. There's still a lot of ball to play, and I expect them to win some games this year. So if you're a Panthers fan, keep pounding. Vikings finally got their dub, but I mean against a Panthers team that's not great. So what does that say?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the Panthers scored on defense once. So I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
Steelers Texans. Steelers. I have no sympathy for Steelers fans. They are the one of the worst fan
Worst fan
bases in the
base.
league. Yeah. But Matt Canada, I don't know, deserves to be shipped to, I don't know, Guangdong.
China.
Yeah.
Ni hao.
Uh, his offense is just, I don't know, it's atrocious.
Bro runs the
Pickett
same
got
play.
hurt as well. Yeah. Literally, what was it on like
Madden.
same play as like 4th and 2 is like 2nd and 16 or something.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
Pickett got hurt. What was that? Was that like a leg injury? I think it was.
I'm not sure.
I think it was a leg. He was gripping his leg whenever he went down. But anyway, CJ Stroud, I mean, another 300-yard game. Just continues to ball, and overall a better team for a rookie quarterback. A team with, a lot of stuff to look forward to, unlike another team over here on the East Coast that wears blue and black, specifically in Carolina. But anyways, I mean the Texans just looking good, man. Just second dub. CJ Stroud's balling, and I mean overall, just it's kind of hard to root against the Texans right now, especially with what they're doing. They put away the Steelers, who were supposed to be a really good team this year, and the Jags. I mean, just dominated the Jags, who a lot of teams, said were going to be the. I said it myself. That they're going to be the
Mm-hmm.
South champs, but right now I think that division's all tied up at the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Texans are balling, and it's kind of hard to root against this team. I will say the Chargers and the Raiders, both teams are fucking abysmal. The
Yeah.
Chargers nearly lost to a rookie quarterback after their defense puts up six or like more than six sacks. Khalil had six sacks.
Good lord.
Yeah, I mean Herbert's throwing touchdowns, but like you're expected to throw more. There's a reason you're getting paid 250 million.
Mm-hmm.
You need to step it the fuck up, man. But again, Tua is worse than Justin Herbert, but yeah, that's why you have an opinion. Raiders are fucking abysmal. And
Yeah.
at what point do you?
Who did they beat?
I think the Broncos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was the Broncos.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was a week one. It was a 1 point game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at what point do
Um,
you get rid of Josh McDaniels? And again, the Chargers. I mean, they didn't look good on offense against the Raiders. So
I don't know. How often do you think Justin Herbert's gonna bail out Staley,
um,
their LA's coach?
honestly, I think it's the defense is bailing them. Like not even their defense, like the opposing team's defense, bailing them all out. I mean,
Probably.
like I said, this team is not good, and I don't see them being good at all. Like the rest of the year. but because Justin Herbert has a big arm and is getting paid 250 million, they're going to be one of America's teams. So again, both teams are doo doo. Don't care about either team, but they're not great. Cowboys Patriots. Mac Jones was seeing ghosts all day. um, I'll let you talk about more of this because I mean I watched some of it and I've went back and watched a lot of the clips, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's your team, so
it was it was a it was a good game if you're a Cowboys fan, but if you're a fan of football, this game was terrible to watch. It was a 35-point win. That was the biggest loss of Belichick's entire career. Um, so, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. People start pointing fingers in New England, but I mean, I don't know if you can point them directly at Belichick for all of these that he's brought you. Uh, but I don't know. Anyway, on Dallas's side, their red zone offense still is like 30th in the league, even with all their weapons. They finally did score in the red zone, and it was I can't even remember what it was. It was like a little rush or something or a little pass, but then Dak threw a touchdown from the 20, which doesn't count as a red zone. It has to be inside the 20. So technically he had two red zone touchdowns, but only one of them counted. But yeah, they still got stopped like 2 or 3 times in the red zone,
yeah, I mean
and
the
that's a
Patriots aren't a
massive
bad
concern.
defense.
Yeah, but I mean, still, I don't know. They're just struggling with the red zone stuff. Anyway, it didn't end up mattering, so
Yeah,
that was good
Cowboys
because the defense
scored
scored
twice on
twice.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean
Mac did throw a blatant pick six, and then he was strip sacked for a touchdown as well. Uh, and then he threw another interception. He threw two interceptions to Deron Bland, who was leading the league in interceptions. One of them was a pick six.
yeah, I mean it's just I mean it's good for the Cowboys. Sad for the Patriots. Like I said, I thought Mac Jones was gonna take a leap this year, but I saw somewhere where someone was saying that because of last year's like offensive struggles, like Mac Jones wasted a whole year like being on the Patriots last year. Just abysmal with the coordinators he had. I mean, at what point do you let Mac Jones go? I would love to see Mac Jones with the Vikings. You know, they're
Yeah.
having some QB issues. You know, why don't you try and make that work? Just honestly, it'd be best for both teams. Mac Jones is a quarterback that, in my opinion, has a bright future. Just, I mean, the Patriots are not it. They're not it. I mean, after I don't even know if I think you could probably get rid of this team ever since Brady left. I mean, they're just not done anything.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like that one playoff push, but it was like early in Mac's career.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they just have no confidence in him. They don't back him up, in my opinion. I mean, I get it that he was benched because of the blowout, but I mean,
Yeah.
Belichick was thinking a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Cowboys still a little sluggish on offense, but I mean, a lot better than last week. So 49ers Cardinals was a lot closer for a bit than many people thought it would be. And then the
Mm-hmm.
49ers just gassed
Yeah.
the rest of the game.
Uh, McCaffrey is the MVP of the league so far.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't think there's much debate about it.
I think he's on pace for
Dude
like
is
20
everywhere.
touchdowns,
The dude is everywhere and he
like 20
scores
something
every
touchdowns,
game.
and like
Uh,
2,400 yards rushing. So something
good
crazy,
lord.
bro.
Yeah,
Stupid.
insane.
Yeah.
But definitely the MVP. He was my player of the week, professional player of the week.
Yeah.
Um, just a baller, man.
Oh yeah. And then to Sunday night and Monday night was Chiefs Jets. Jets looked a lot better than they have in the past. Again,
Zach Wilson had a good game.
like I said, I mean, if they were to get a game, it would be this game. Like they're like it's a moral game. Rogers was there. Taylor Swift was there. In case you don't know who that is,
Who's
um,
Taylor Swift?
some American artist.
Mm.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it definitely shows, and Zach Wilson, and they rallied behind him. I mean, they didn't play a bad. I mean, well, let me rephrase that. They didn't play that as bad as people anticipated them to. At one point,
Mm-hmm.
the Chiefs did jump out to like a monster lead,
Yeah, it was 17-0 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, so it's just like, that it is the Chiefs, but they stalled them. They stalled them the rest of the game. No touchdowns, no end zone after that first quarter. And
Hmm.
it kind of shows you that this team has potential, but they only go as
Yeah.
far as like backing up Wilson goes. And
Mm.
Seahawks, Giants. I mean, the Giants just look bad.
Dude, what idiot keeps putting the Giants on prime time? And what idiot
Bro,
decided Daniel Jones deserves $150 million?
the same one that didn't want to pay a running back. But
Good
anyways,
reason.
oh yeah,
Why did he play?
he's still hurt.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's like they haven't scored a touchdown since what was that? It was like December of last year or something like that in their home stadium. Some wild stat, bro. They haven't scored a touchdown in like, oh, it might have been in the first quarter. It might have not been like the whole game. But yeah, I mean, still scoreless first half. Just abysmal. I mean, their line looked atrocious. I know Evan Neal. I mean, he's an Alabama product, but he's been getting dogged online about it. But I mean, it's just bad. I mean, you would expect Dayball to, help figure this out. This offense is just horrible. Seahawks, I mean, Gino looking good. And I mean, even when Locke came in, Gino definitely played through an injury to make sure that Locke didn't take his spot. But just overall
Hmm.
dominance by the team. And Witherspoon, the rookie, just pick six, monster pick six.
Hmm.
So it was a good game for the Seahawks fans, but Giants just need to figure it out. So nice little NFL week. But like I said, I went numb after the first like 30 minutes of it starting, not including the London game. But anyways, if you are, again, like I said, we're recording this on Thursday night. At the moment, the Bears are up 27-3. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it because we'll probably end the show before we get back from halftime. But is the Commanders' comeback coming? I don't
I hope
know.
so, because I started Sam Howell over Burrow.
Well, I have
So
Terry McLaurin on my team, so
there you go.
I need something. I need them to do something. What are you
Terry
doing,
have
bro?
any catches? Just
Yeah,
playing
I know he has
defense.
got like at least one. But I mean, just like last week. I mean, the Bears had a dominant first half, so
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see. But yeah. So just a little. You want to do a quick pick 'em while we go through them too?
Yeah, so
So Bears Commanders. I mean, can't really pick for this game just because it's kind of already through. I mean, I was hoping the Bears win just because I have Justin Fields on my team. I mean, like I said, they probably still can, but if they do anything like what they did last week, Commanders should have a big second half. So, but yeah, going down the list, Jags Bills, London game again.
mm,
I fucking hate the Bills, so give me the Jags. Nothing much to say other than these frauds will get exposed soon enough. But just keep that same energy. And like I said, Jags have been there all week, so they should, kind of been accustomed to that area, and hopefully another like Jaguars are starting to figure it out. Especially if you want to be an
mm,
AFC contender, this is the game that you have to win.
hmm.
Prove yourself. So,
Yeah, I mean the Jaguars have been. They probably haven't left London. I imagine they've
well,
probably been
well,
there
that's what I'm
for like
saying.
2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. They've
So
been
they've
there. They're accustomed.
been able to acclimate and like, catch up on sleep and whatever jet lag. So
Yeah.
um, they had definitely have the advantage for that. So yeah, I'll go Jags. Maybe they'll get together. They'll get it together. This will be a huge like win in the AFC.
Yeah, I mean, this
So
this will be a really big win for them as far
mhm,
as like moralish, and also like
mhm,
as far as like, hey, you beat the potential number one team. So,
mhm.
and then just going into the 1 o'clock window after that. I mean, first on mine is Giants Dolphins, just because Dolphins. But Giants are a bad team.
They're a
I don't
bad team.
expect us to hang
Watch Sam
70.
Howell.
We're gonna hang 80. No, I'm kidding. But
They won't
yeah,
beat them comfortably.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins take this. I mean, especially after last week, you kind of need to bounce back, especially with the blowout from the Bills. So I'm taking the Dolphins just because I need to bounce back. I need to get this numbness off my shoulder. So roll tide and go fish. Who you got?
No, yeah, Dolphins for sure. I think they definitely cover the spread of 12. So I think they'll definitely go over that.
I mean, it should be a good game if you're a Dolphins fan. If you're a Giants fan, I mean, you're just hoping. You're hoping it's a good game. Texans Falcons. I'm gonna go ahead and say, give me the Texans. It's
Yeah,
just this team is
Falcons still
hot.
don't have a quarterback.
This team is hot. They're figuring it out. And CJ Stroud's looking good. The defense is playing. You got Toe in the middle,
Stroud hasn't
commanding.
thrown a pick yet.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
I expect him to throw a pick this week, just because you said that.
Just because I said it. Yep.
Yep. Yeah,
AJ Terrell
give me
with a
the
pick.
or Jesse Bates or
Either one.
DeMarco Helms. Roll Tide. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Texans for sure. Panthers Lions. God.
Lions.
Yeah, I mean, I love
It's in Detroit
Bryce.
too.
I love Bryce, but I mean, this Lions defense is getting after it. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Lions. Jamison Williams potentially is gonna. Oh,
Oh,
he
is he?
he's reinstated. Yeah, he got reinstated early. So he's
I heard that.
I don't know, maybe a little JMO touchdown. Bryce Young, JMO dab up. So back to the old days, back to the good days. And, but yeah, give me the Lions. Titans Colts.
Lions.
I expect the Colts to do a lot more than the Bengals last week. And conference game or division game and conference. But I expect the Colts to kind of bounce back after last week, disappointing last week with that overtime loss. And the Titans are good, but I expect this to be a close one that the Colts take.
Are the is Richardson back?
Yeah, Richardson's back. He was back last week, but they started off really slow, as you would because your rookie quarterback missed time, and he's a rookie. But
Yeah. Give me the Colts. This one is at home, even though Tennessee's favored for some reason. But give me the Colts.
I mean, they're a more veteran team. So, oh,
Yes,
JT,
but
JT's back
there
practicing.
you go. Maybe
Yeah,
they.
he's
I don't know if they'll
practicing.
play.
I don't
Yeah.
think he'll play, but he's practicing. Saints Patriots Shitter Bowl. If you're a Saints
Yeah.
fan, I'm sorry.
The line is even at in Foxborough. So
God, both of these teams fucking suck. Anyways, give me the Patriots, man. I just want Mac Jones to do good. Fuck Belichick and the Saints. Those fucking cheaters.
yeah, I don't know. I guess
We'll never forget.
maybe Camaro will break out, but I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll see. Just to switch it up
Oh,
for the sake.
the Patriots just signed new quarterback
J.C.
J.C. Jackson. Can we get a
Yeah.
Can we get a jersey swap on that, please? Can't wait for J.C. Jackson to turn back to the Pro Bowl corner that he is. Now that he's back on the Patriots.
Yeah, as soon as he touches the field in Gillette
Foxborough. Gillette
Yeah,
Field.
give me the Saints just to switch it up.
Switch it up. Nice. Ravens Steelers. The Steelers fucking suck. So give me the Ravens.
Yeah, give me the Ravens as well.
Nothing much to say, but
No, Lamar is the rushing leader for the Ravens. I think that's funny. Well, Dobbins is out. But
sniper gang. Anyways,
Ravens.
Eagles,
Eagles,
Rams.
This could be a sneaky Rams. It's
Should
in
be,
Los
I mean,
Angeles.
it should be a really good game.
Yeah.
I mean, both of these teams are really good. Philly, the spread isn't too far.
And if the Rams can somehow return to I mean, they had a good game last week, but if they can somehow return to form that
Excuse me.
Somehow resembles the Super Bowl team a couple years ago, I mean, they could be a tough opponent out there in Los Angeles.
I mean, the biggest thing is their defense. I mean, that secondary is just really young and not many, big players on that back end. But I mean, you still got Donald, and I mean, Donald's gonna help that line, and I think it'll be a good game. I think the Eagles take it just because of talent,
Hmm.
but it should be a really good game compared to last couple weeks of that 4 o'clock window just being abysmal. So, Bengals Cardinals. This should be a really good game just because the Bengals fucking suck too.
Bengals are awful, and the Cardinals are probably equally awful, but likable, like a
Yeah,
likable awful.
yeah,
I want Josh Dobbs to succeed so bad.
yeah.
He seems like such a nice guy, and he deserves it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it should be a
yeah,
really
but
good
other than
game.
that,
I think it'll be good. I think there'll be some scoring on both sides. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Cardinals because I think the Bengals are gonna
give me the
pave
Cardinals.
for not helping Joe Burrow stay healthy by putting him on IR or something. Just giving him some rest.
Hmm.
But yeah, so Cardinals as well. Jets Broncos. Give me the fucking Jets. Give me the
Yeah, the
Jets.
Jets have this. Yeah,
Give me that revenge on Sean
Zach
Payton.
Wilson.
Matt
Zach
Nagy
Wilson is
revenge
good.
game.
Yeah,
No, no, no. It's Matt Nagy. Nathaniel Hackett revenge game.
yeah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, Matt Nagy's the Chiefs guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nathaniel Hackett revenge game after all that shit he talked about in the
Hmm.
offseason.
Hmm.
Sean Payton saying like taking over the worst job and I don't blame him and all this shit. Give me the Jets, especially after building off of last week. Yeah, this four
Yeah,
o'clock
no, for
window is
sure.
looking good, man. I'm telling you, should be a good week as
Mhm.
opposed to the last few ones. Damn, we
Chiefs,
got four
Vikings.
4 o'clock games. Chiefs, Vikings. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah,
They'll figure it out after a slow game last week. And
yeah.
but I expect some fireworks from Justin Jefferson, especially after a slow game for them last week.
He had 2 touchdowns last week.
Well, I meant like quiet. I mean, yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, but like, I mean, it's the Panthers. It was he should have had 4. Sorry, I'm a casual. Anyways,
And
give me
four.
give me the Chiefs.
Uh,
And
Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins figures it out. They might beat the Chiefs at home.
expose them for the
Their
frauds they
defense
are.
might be. Their defense might get carved up. Talking about the Vikings,
Oh,
but
their defense will get carved up because
yeah.
they fucking suck on defense.
So I don't know. Just give me the Vikings just for
A
funsies.
competent O line that you have to play against, yeah, they're getting dotted up. I mean, they go from the Panthers O line to this O line with like Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey and well,
Yeah.
that tackle's horrible. It's not. Is it Dewan Jones? Is that his name? Number
I'm not
7. He's
sure.
he's he has like 16 penalties or not 16. I'm
Oh,
exaggerating.
for
Yeah, for the
yeah, there
Chiefs.
is. There's some lineman that has like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
the
it is
Chiefs.
for the Chiefs.
Yeah, because he like keeps
Yeah,
offsetting to like
yeah.
he has
He
like
has 16 penalties by himself or something like that
yeah
through week 5.
yeah it's wild. I think the record's like
Yeah, it's
26,
insane. Yeah.
and he's it's been 4 games.
Hmm.
So
Week 5 Super Bowl Sunday night. Uh, Cowboys 49ers. Um,
oh, before you get going, this is the 40th meeting
of what?
of these teams.
Oh, really?
They you know what the record is?
Probably. I don't know.
So it's 19-19 to 1.
They tied. When did they tie?
It was like
It's interesting.
it was like 63 or some shit like that.
Hmm.
Some wild year. But yeah, this is the 40th all-time meeting.
That's wild,
Yep.
and it's that
And the
close.
winner of this game like takes the lead in the series
The
again.
winner of this game automatically wins the NFC, as a lot of people want you to think. But unfortunately, it's just another regular season game. But it'll be a big test. What's insane is that saw a stat that Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Tyler Biotish, Terrence Steele, all 5 starters on the offensive line. They are projected to start. That's the first time since September 2021, 2 years, that all 5 starters on the offensive line are starting at the same time together for the Cowboys. It's been 2 years since they've had all 5 of their starters play at the same time. That's insane. So I don't know. Hopefully they can protect Dak and open up some lanes for a run against the best defense in the National Football League. So
I mean, is Big Cock Brock? I mean, is he gonna lay it
please,
on him?
please. Yeah, he's gonna dump it off to McCaffrey, who's gonna go 60 yards.
He's gonna lay that thing on him. No, I mean overall should be a really good game. I mean it's one of my games of the week for sure coming up this weekend. And 40th all time meeting. My biggest thing is Nick Bosa, man. Where you at?
Oh, don't worry, he'll show up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's gonna be a really good game. I mean, all five linemen are starting. McCaffrey is the fucking MVP of the league right now, and
Yeah,
Brock has yet to lose a regular season game or a game that he has finished.
yeah,
He is undefeated
um,
in games that he has finished.
yeah, because he got hurt against the Eagles, and that's how they got to the Super Bowl
Yep.
because their cupcake schedule.
Oh yeah.
Neither here nor there. But uh, yeah, you know what? Just for giggles, give me the 49ers. I'm hoping for some like reverse psychology here.
Okay. You want me to reverse your reverse? Give
Reverse my
me
reverse. If you reverse my
Dallas.
reverse, if you reverse my reverse,
Reverse
it'll
your
just be
reverse your
nice.
reverse. There you go. Give me Dallas.
There we go.
Psych. Bang bang Niner. I'm going with the Niners, man. It's just I mean not I'm just saying it just because I mean they're I just think the
They're
Cowboys
good.
are the third best team in the division in the conference. Yeah, in the conference. I always fucking say
Third
that
best
wrong.
team of the conference
Yeah.
in the. So who do you think's better?
Eagles and
Niners and
Niners.
Niners. I'll take Eagles. I don't know about.
I mean, those. It's just one of those things, man. If you can't get past the Niners, and
Sure, man. If we if
you're gonna see the Eagles later in the year. Like
yeah, exactly.
you
So
have to win one of these two games. Well, one of these three.
yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
these
No,
are.
this would be huge.
It, and
Especially since we
if you
dropped the
get
game
this
already.
one, like I said, if you get this one, it's gonna be a big one. I'm not ready for the media. I honestly I don't know what I'll see more. I don't know if I'll see the Cowboys or Taylor Swift more next week if they win this game. I don't know.
Wait, what?
So like if the Cowboys win this game,
Hmm.
I don't know who I will see more on social media. Taylor Swift at a game or the Cowboys winning. Like I don't know which one. Like I don't know which one I want to like see.
Yeah.
Like
Um.
obviously I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift, but I don't know if I want to see the Cowboys all over my feed.
Yeah, because
Is this the
immediately
year?
I. Yeah, pretty much.
Is this the
But
dagger?
I don't know if they can. If they just don't get blown out, and if they just like don't just like idle on offense like the last 2 years
I
in
mean,
the
Dak. I
playoffs.
mean, this is a game. I mean, Dak's motivated, man, and he's realized what's been happening. I saw that one clip where he was the reporter was like
He was asking,
after
telling,
the
yeah,
freaking Patriots game, it was like first question. It's like, do you
yeah,
remember what it felt like? Like what?
yeah. He was like, yeah, I do. And he's
Thanks
like,
for
thank you.
thanks.
He's
Yeah,
like, thanks for reminding me or something like that. That was
thanks for
funny.
pissing me off.
No, that's what he said. But
Yeah, man.
yeah, I don't know. That'll probably come back to bite him. But
It should, like I said, it should be really good.
we'll see, man.
I mean the
And it's
Niners.
in San Francisco is the only thing
That's the biggest thing, man. But I mean, it should
at
be
night.
good. I got the Niners just because I think they're top two in that
Yeah,
conference. I think Dallas
give me
is
the
not far
Niners.
behind, but I just think those two teams are like kind of on their own league. And then Dallas kicks off the top of that, the rest of them. So, I mean, yeah, give me the Niners. I mean, you said you're doing reverse psychology. So,
Yeah,
secretly he
just right
wants
now.
the Cowboys. So,
No, no, no. Bang, bang, Niner gang all the way.
oh, and we
But
got a thriller Monday night game that I'm not even going to really say anything else, but give me the
oh my
Packers.
gosh, good lord, give me the Packers. What is the deal with these primetime games?
Whoa, Vegas is favored. Well,
Um,
I think it's the home favorite.
yeah. Don't you automatically get the three or something if you're favored? at home.
Probably.
Or if you're at home, you automatically
Well,
3 points.
Denver's favored against the Jets. So, I mean, it's just like,
Oh my gosh, man. Give me the Packers.
give me the Packers. Don't have much anything else to say. Jordan Love legacy game.
Yep.
Also,
Still.
opening drive for this. So we did make it to the end. The Bears Commanders game. Commanders are driving down the field, and the Bears just got DPI on Terry McLaurin in the end zone. So
Wow.
if you're a Bears fan,
Maybe
this
they'll
is really
score.
bad. Hey, man, you got Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. to look forward to. So if you're a Bears fan,
You are Chicago Bears.
yeah.
All right, man. I think
Anyways,
that
yeah, I
about
mean,
wraps it up.
yeah, definitely. I mean, should be a really good weekend for some football action and postseason baseball as well. If you're, especially if you're like a Braves fan, just
Yeah.
historical dominance this year, hopefully. And
Hopefully they continue that. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I mean, should be a really good week, like I said. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on X. Not posting much there yet, but just kind of getting this brand built. Trying to post a lot more on Instagram. And yeah, thank you for everything. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for joining us for 5 episodes now. And like I said, continue to like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and comment down below what you want us to talk about, or if there's anything else we can change. And thank you.
Yeah. Really appreciate it.
Follow us, and we'll see you guys next week, hopefully with some different formats. So stay tuned. Anything else you want to say?
No, just appreciate it, and y'all have a good week.
Yep. Enjoy some football. Be safe. See you guys.